Hi, today I am going to solve the third problem of income from house property. Let me explain the problem. Find out annual value from the following details. So you have to find out the annual value means the net annual value of the house property. And here there are two property, house A and house B. Municipal value, parent and municipal taxes paid were given. Both the houses were let out at rupees 21,000 per month. Both the houses, house A as well as house B, were let out. So the purpose of the house property are let out properties. The nature or type of house A as well as house B are let out property and let out at rupees 21,000 per month. And the rent of both houses was rupees 21,000 per month. The tenants vacated the houses on 31st October and thereafter the houses were let out for rupees 25,000. So it says that both the houses were occupied by two tenants in the previous year. House A occupied by two tenants, House B also occupied by two tenants in the previous year. The first tenant vacated or occupied the house property till 31st October. From April to 31st October, it was occupied by first tenant and for them the rent was rupees 21,000. Thereafter, house A as well as house B occupied by another tenant and for them the rent was rupees 25,000. See, in case of house A as well as house B, the rent is same. For house A, rent is same 21,000 till October, and house B also the rent is same 21,000 till October. Whereas in second tenant the rent is the same for house A as well as a house B. The rent is the same 25,000. Due to the death of earlier tenant, the rent could not be realized in respect of house B for October month and SSC satisfied all the conditions. The point says that in case of death of earlier, due to the death of earlier tenants, due to the death of the first tenant, the rent could not be realized in respect of house B, and for the month of October. In case of property B, due to the death of the first tenant, the rent of October month could not be realized. So therefore, that rent is called as an unrealized rent. The rent which could not be realized in the previous year from the tenant, and such rent is called as unrealized rent, and that can be deducted from rent received whenever SSC satisfy all the conditions. So that concept I have explained under the category of unrealized rent. So this is called as unrealized rent, rent of October month. 1 month rent could not be realized by the SSC due to the death of earlier tenant, and that rent is considered as a unrealized rent, and that has to be deducted from the rent received while calculating net annual value of house property B, because property B only carries unrealized rent, not property A. The question is find out annual value. Here I have calculated net annual value separately for house A as well as house B due to some calculation related to rent received and unrealized rent. So let me begin with the house A. The house A is a let out property which I have explained in the problem itself. Both the houses, house A as well as house B, were let out properties. The type of property is a let out property, and the structure for the calculation of net annual value for the let out property is the same like a let out property provisions: municipal value, fair and standard rent. That this is the format or the structure for the calculation of net annual value of let out property. The first one is a municipal value which are given in the problem, and next is a parental value which also given in the problem, and next one is a standard rental value which is not applicable, no standard rent here. So first calculation is a expected rental value. How to calculate expected rental value whenever there is no standard rent? Municipal value or fair rental value, whichever is the highest, is a expected rental value if there is no standard rental value. So whenever there is no standard rental value, expected rental value is municipal value or fair rental value, whichever is the highest. So here the higher is 2,40,000, so 2,40,000 is a expected rental value. Next one is a rent received. Next stage, rent received. Rent received or receivable for a let out term. Rent received, or you can consider it as a receivable for let out to duration. And in this problem, the house was let out to two tenants, or house was occupied by two tenants in the previous year. First tenant occupied the house from April to October, and whereas the second tenant occupied the house from November to March. And it was let out for separate rent. For the first tenant, the rent was rupees 21,000, whereas for the second tenant, rent was rupees 25,000. So first tenant occupied the property from April to 31st October, nearly 7 months, for 7 months. So rent received for 7 months was rupees 1,47,000, 21,000 into 7 months. And thereafter it was let out to another person, another tenant, and it was let out from 1st November until 31st March, and the rent was rupees 25,000. So 25,000 into 5 months is 1,25,000. So here no vacancy, okay, no vacancy period. So April to March, calculation is from April to March, and from April to 31st October one rent, and thereafter another rent, 21,000 into 7 months and 25,000 into 5 months. So total rent received or receivable is 2,72,000 for let out duration, for let out term, and it was let out for whole year for 12 months for two rent. 2,72,000 is a rent received or receivable. Next, less unrealized rent. No unrealized rent in case of house A. Unrealized rent means the rent which could not be realized by the SSC in the previous year. So rent received less unrealized rent. So unrealized rent is not there. So therefore, after deducting unrealized rent, the rent actual gross rent received is 2,72,000. So here no unrealized rent is applicable, so therefore rent received is 2,72,000. If there is unrealized rent, then you have to deduct it, then the balance is called as a rent received or rent receivable. The next stage is a gross annual value. How to calculate gross annual value? There are two provisions. First one, expected rental value or rent received, whichever is the highest if there is no vacancy period and unrealized rent. The second provision, rent received is equal to gross annual value or gross annual value equal to rent received whenever there is an unrealized rent and vacancy period. So two clauses. First one is applicable if there is no unrealized rent and vacancy period, and if there is unrealized rent and vacancy period, then second clause is applicable. In the first clause, we have to compare expected rent with the rent received. In second clause, there is no comparison. Rent received itself is a gross annual value. So in this case, in house A, there is no unrealized rent, no vacancy period. So therefore, expected rental value or rent received, whichever is the highest, is a gross annual value. Higher of these two, the higher of expected rental value or rent received, whichever is highest, is a gross annual value. So here gross annual value is a 2,72,000 is the gross annual value. Higher of two, expected rent or rent received, whichever is highest. Expected rent is a 2,40,000 and rent received is a 2,72,000. The higher is a 2,72,000. So this is a gross annual value. Next is we have to calculate net annual value. So for that we have to give the deduction from gross annual value or we have to deduct municipal tax from gross annual value. Gross annual value less municipal tax paid by SSC, it's 20,000 is a municipal tax, and the balance is called as a net annual value, that is 2,52,000. So you have to deduct the municipal tax from gross annual value, and municipal tax is 20,000 which is given in the problem, and balance is called as a net annual value. So this is how to calculate a net annual value. So net annual value of house A is 2,52,000. Okay, now we will find out the net annual value of house B. House B is also let out property. Earlier I told both the houses were let out properties. The procedure or the format is the same like house A because both are let out properties. First one is a municipal value. It's 2 lakh. Fair rental value 2,40,000. Both are given in the problem. And standard rent which is not applicable. No standard rent here. So first stage is a expected rental value calculation. So municipal value or fair rental value, whichever is the highest, is a expected rental value whenever there is a no standard rent. So here expected rental value is a 2,40,000. The next stage is a rent received, also called as a rent receivable. See, rent received or receivable to be calculated for let out to duration. So here the house was let out for 12 months. For throughout the year the house was let out, so therefore you have to calculate rent received or receivable for 12 months. From 1st April to 31st October the house was let out for rupees 21,000. It is 21,000 into 7 months, and thereafter it was let out for rupees 25,000, means for 5 months, remaining 5 months, so 1,25,000. So total rent received or receivable for 12 months, this is for 12 months, 2,72,000. The rent received or receivable for let out to duration. So it was let out for 12 months itself. Why I am saying that particular term for the let out term, you may consider there is unrealized rent. So rent received is less than not for 12 months, it is less than 12 months. Yes, of course it is correct. But for the calculation purpose, first you have to calculate rent received or receivable, then you have to consider unrealized rent, because unrealized rent can be considered, can be deducted from rent received whenever SSC fulfills some conditions. If SSC fulfills some condition, then only it is liable for deduction from rent received. So here there is unrealized rent of 1 month due to the death of earlier tenant. The 1 month means October month rent could not be realized, and that rent is called as unrealized rent, and it is eligible for deduction because SSC satisfied the conditions which has been given at the end of the problem. There is a one condition, SSC satisfied all the conditions related to unrealized rent. So whenever SSC satisfies the conditions related to unrealized rent, then you can deduct it from rent received. So here the unrealized rent is 21,000. It's a rent of October month. October month rent could not be realized because of death of earlier tenant. So rent, unrealized rent is 21,000. After deducting unrealized rent, the rent received is 2,51,000. So unrealized rent can be deducted only if SSC satisfied the condition. So therefore, first you have to calculate the rent received or receivable for let out duration. Then you have to deduct the unrealized rent if SSC satisfied the condition. Then the balance amount is called as a rent received. Now the next stage is a gross annual value. There are two provisions related to gross annual value. First one is a expected rental value or rent received, whichever is highest if there is no unrealized rent and vacancy period. The second provision, if there is an unrealized rent and vacancy period, then rent received itself is the gross annual value, or gross annual value equal to rent received whenever there is an unrealized rent and vacancy period. So here there is unrealized rent of rupees 21,000 unrealized rent of rupees 21,000. So therefore, rent received itself is the gross annual value 2,50,000, 51,000 is a gross annual value. No comparison of rent received with the expected rental value because of unrealized rent. The next stage is a deduction of municipal tax paid by SSC owner, and it's rupees 20,000 which is given in the problem. So after deducting the municipal tax, the balance amount is called as a net annual value, and that is 2,31,000. The net annual value of house B is 2,31,000. So this is how to find out net annual value of let out property. The format is the same, procedure of calculation is the same for all the let out properties. The municipal value, fair rent, standard rental, expected rental value, then rent received or rent receivable, then less unrealized rent, then gross annual value, then you have to deduct the municipal taxes paid. Then you will get the net annual value of let out property. Thank you. Thank you very much.